Getting paid for your products and services as a small business owner is pretty much a foundational part of owning a business. And there are so many different ways that you can get paid and like how it happens. And so today I'm going to cover 3 different offerings you might have and how you can set up your checkout pages and actually get paid for the services and products that you offer. These are based on the tools that I personally use in my business. We have Dubsado, Thrivecart, Circle, Stripe, Flodesk. I think that's all of them. Yeah, they all serve a different purpose. And I'm excited to show you my thought process to figure out which one of those I want to use with which of my products and services and how it keeps me organized and streamlined. I'm Lauren with The Smarter Creative. I help creative small business owners work smarter rather than harder inside of their own businesses. I've been doing this since 2020, and I really like having efficient ways to work, not only for me, but also that make it easy for my clients to pay me and book with me. All right, so the first 2 things I want to talk about are specifically for service-based business owners. Like you have a service that you are looking to sell, to offer. You could be a photographer, a videographer, a web designer, a brand designer, a interior decorator, a closet organizer, a coach. There's just so many ways that you can serve people with services out there right now. And my favorite thing to use for that is definitely Dubsado. What I like about Dubsado specifically is not only does it make just booking with you easy, but it streamlines the contract signing and the initial invoice payments. So if you have a type of service where you really need a contract to be signed, you want a full-blown CRM like Dubsado to really serve you. Personally, I have started to use Thrivecart inside of my service-based business for some of my offers that don't necessarily need a contract. You don't need a sign on the dotted line. You actually can have a terms and conditions checkbox. And this is super great because what Thrivecart I really like because it's a one-page checkout. So you basically, I already have a sales page on my website selling this specific service that I offer. Then if it's like book now, it takes them to a Thrivecart page where they can see a summary of what they're about to buy and check out right there on that page. And it uses Link to Pay, Apple Pay, Google Pay, like all the things. And it's so easy to check out. So it's not a multi-step because with Dubsado, it is multi-step, right? You have the booking form, the proposal, then the contract, and then the invoice. This is what I use most of the time. I've just started to experiment with the one-page checkout in Thrivecart. What I like about using Dubsado for it as it's already then in Dubsado, like the workflow for a booked client kicks off immediately. Whereas inside of my Thrivecart, when they sign here, I have an automation through Zapier that then sends them to Dubsado. I still do my finished booking in Dubsado, how I fulfill the service that was purchased. Because of the offering that I have in Thrivecart, it adds them to my Thrivecart Learn, where I have some courses that I've published and I'm selling that they can have access to because of this specific offering. So it's like it gets them inside of those courses, but my automation sends them to Dubsado to finish out my service with them. They get a welcome guide, questionnaire, eventually get a call to book with me, depending on what exactly this offering is. I really like it. I like the different options between the two. They serve different purposes. Thrivecart is great because it's a one-time purchase. It is an investment. I made it probably back in 2021, maybe 2022. I like using things that I've invested in because I definitely am looking to use Thrivecart in ways, but I'm not looking to make it harder on myself. If I didn't already have Zapier in my workflow, I don't think I would use this because that would be another paid service to have to automate that process. Just things to think about in trying to figure out what it is that you need and are looking for. If you have just Thrivecart for a service offering and you don't even use Dubsado, you could zap this to another thing. Maybe you have a project management tool somewhere. You could add them to a new project inside of Notion or Airtable, and maybe you communicate that way. There's all kinds of ways to take somebody who's booked with you using Zapier and sending them wherever else they need to be. Next, I want to talk about if you don't offer just a service, or you are also starting to offer a course or a program, there are 3 tools that I think are great to use depending on what that course or program looks like for you. So again, we have Dubsado that we can use to do this. It's the 1, 2, 3 booking process, but they can book, sign a contract, and pay with that 1, 2, 3 booking process. And then maybe they get a first course or like first video sent to them via a questionnaire, even if you don't have questions on it. That Dubsado questionnaire, it's just because it's the term of it, that form can go out with a video embed, maybe some journaling prompts. It just depends on what your course or program is. Is it one-to-one? Are you guiding them through a program where you need calls with them, one-to-one calls with them? Maybe you have a program that's a group program and there are scheduled meetings in place. Well, this automation that you can then create with Dubsado can send reminders for calls Tuesday at 9 a.m. It can go out, whatever that specific date is for that specific program. Most programs run on this very specific schedule. Maybe it's a 12-week program, a 3-week program, 6-month, whatever it is. It has a set schedule that you're typically running on. And Dubsado can then communicate with them. Now, all of these Dubsado communications are one-to-one. So you are specifically emailing that student these instructions. It's not like a group email to everybody, but each individual student is getting the information. It's great also for installments for those invoices that you can set up. I've set it up for people who that are selling a course, like just a single time course, and the questionnaire goes out and it has all the information for it. I've set it up where it's a one-to-one program, a one-to-many program. For classes, it works really well for that. So anyways, it can serve you really well when it comes to courses and programs. Then we have Thrivecart, and I would say Thrivecart is a much better option if it is a evergreen course. So this is going to be if you have some kind of course that just sits there, it can be sold anytime. Maybe you promote it at specific times, but there's no calls involved. There's nothing there because Thrivecart has their Learn platform, and in their Learn platform is where you can host lessons and modules and have the actual course hosted. And then if you sell multiples of them, your student can have access to all the different courses and programs that they've purchased from you in one place. Thrivecart is similar to Kajabi. Kajabi is just a little bit more limited. Kajabi has email marketing. Thrivecart doesn't. The websites on Kajabi are a little bit more robust, but Thrivecarts aren't terrible for their landing pages. I like to use Thrivecart for my courses that I sell for Dubsado. For if you even buy a template of mine, of a Dubsado template, it is hosted in Thrivecart because I use the Learn course platform to deliver it to you. So you always have access to it whenever you go and log into my course backend. It's all sitting there for you. And I really do enjoy it there. And again, Thrivecart is nice because it's not a monthly payment. It's just a one-time payment and you are good to use it. You might need to upgrade to like the Learn Plus, maybe if you need those features, but you might not need to at all. The regular Thrivecart is wonderful. And then we have Circle. I hope you can read my handwriting. Maybe you can. Inside of Circle, now Circle is a community app. So it is, if you have a course or program that has a community aspect to it, it is the premier software, in my opinion, to use. You could use School, SKOOL. There's some other options out there, Mighty Networks, which I personally find really confusing. Circle is just my favorite one. I think it's really intuitive from a user standpoint. It is very easy to use from a facilitator standpoint. It kind of stands in the place where I would say Facebook groups were 10 years ago. These circle communities are definitely the place. And with that, you have the option to actually deliver courses inside of Circle. So I definitely have been a part of some programs that have both a course, like do DIY, like do all the videos yourself aspect, but then there's also this online community aspect to it. And both of those then live inside of Circle. I personally wouldn't have the learning inside of Thrivecart and then the community inside of Circle. Like, you want to keep it all in one place. If somebody bought something from you, how you deliver it to them should all be in the same software. Circle has great checkout pages. They're getting even better. They've got now website checkouts similar to Thrivecart that are great. And even Dubsado, they're like 1, 2, 3 options. That step one can be a public proposal. When it comes to how you're going to sell a course or a program, it is truly how are you delivering what you are selling. If it's a Thrivecart, it's just a course that they have access to that they can watch in their own time. If it's Dubsado, maybe there's just a little bit more back and forth. Maybe you're delivering information where you're meeting, if there's Zoom classes, like all that kind of stuff. And then Circle is if it's an online community where you can deliver a pre-recorded course, making the audio, video, like whatever works, but then you also have this community aspect, like an online community. You can do live calls inside of Circle. There's a lot of flexibility with it. But yeah, that is definitely what I would think about in trying to figure out which of those checkout pages is best overall in my business. Okay, next, let's just talk about selling a digital product. This could be a worksheet, a template, like just something that is a singular delivering bit that you just need to get somebody in their hand. A Notion template, a Lightroom preset, like just something that they buy and they get. And yes, you could use a Shopify type thing to do this, but that's also costs money if you don't use Shopify for your website in general. I definitely love Thrivecart for this because you can have that digital product in their learn side of the business, and it can just be there for them to grab and check out and use whenever they need to. You can have additional resources, maybe video trainings. If you do your business deliverables inside of Circle, maybe you have a program that you sell and it's already on Circle. Selling your digital products through Circle is a great experience for your clients because then they can continue to have access to those different spaces inside of Circle. So you could have a checkout page that gives them access to a specific space in Circle, and then that space would have the product information, link, video trainings, whatever it is. And then it's basically like, where are you sending them to again and again to get these things that they've bought from you? Instead of it just ended up in their inbox and going into like inbox purgatory, like you can really serve your client by creating an experience as you continue to sell to them. Where are they going to get everything that they've bought from you in the past? So those are like 2 of my favorites. We also have 2 other options depending on your flow, your tech build out. Flodesk has Flodesk Checkouts, which are checkout pages inside of Flodesk. And these are cool because it can automatically kick off an email that can deliver the template, the link, whatever it is. But it doesn't then live anywhere. Like it just sits there in their email. You could use Zapier to send that information to Thrivecart or Circle, but then why not just use Thrivecart or Circle to sell it and like not have that other automation set up? But if you already are using a Flodesk, just upgrading to their checkouts could be a great option for you. Their checkout pages are great. They have a 1-page option, which are pretty minimal, and then a 2-step checkout process. I personally don't use the Flodesk checkouts a ton because I want my products that I sell to be living somewhere. I like an anchor point for them. And at that point, I will say Stripe, I don't think a lot of people realize this, Stripe has checkouts. So you could do a little sales page on your website and have a buy now button, and it could go to a Stripe checkout page. And if you're already using Stripe, and PayPal, I think, does this too, but we don't talk about PayPal because the fees are ridiculous. So with Stripe, you can have a checkout page and just link to that, and then they can check out and buy. It's super, super, super simple. You can have an image, product name, and description, but you could also have different price points to it. You do have to have this automated to be delivered. Whatever it is that they bought, it needs to get delivered. You would have to automate that purchase to a email or to something. It is a great way to still sell and to be able to collect that money really easily instead of having to pay for a Shopify or something. If you're already using Stripe and maybe you already have Zapier in your tool stack, this could be a really nice way to sell your products very easily. My main takeaway for you in this video is look at your current tech stack and how you can use it to continue to serve and sell for your clients and your offerings that you have. Most likely what you're already using can do a couple things more than what you thought it could. And maybe you can even expand your thoughts on what it is that you can provide to your clients. I truly think the system that you already have, that you already use, is better than a brand new system setup that you've never touched before. So as much as you can use the tech stack that you already have to continue to deliver these options for your clients, the better. And we're really just looking to give our clients the best experience possible in working with us. But there is no magic bullet. Each of these has pros and cons, and there's subscription costs associated with some of them. There's credit card fees attached to all of them, but that's cost of doing business. And there are so many other tools than just the few that I mentioned here. Again, these are just the ones that are currently in my tech stack that I use and really, really enjoy. But there's so many other options out there. If you have a tool that you would love to share with the world, comment it down below. You can check out links to see any of these tools that I talked about. I know I have a code to save you 30% off your first month or year of Dubsado. You can get 50% off your first year of Flodesk, like all kinds of crazy savings down below if any of these tools sound like something that would really serve you in your business. And do be sure to follow along for more small business systems and productivity tips. I'm Lauren with The Smarter Creative, and I will see you next time.